welcome back to a very happy Gobby Gaffer. What a tremendous season. Absolutely brilliant. The players played so well for me. The tactic, the formation, everything works really, really well. And we actually won the league. In the end, we won the league at 𝐏𝐀𝐑𝐓. Obviously, you know, the last 5 or 6 games, they're all a little bit nail-biting. When we lost to Accrington, I thought, well, we're going to go on a little bit of a slide. But no, it was a bit of a one-off game, that, and we bounced back. And like I say, in the end, we won the league at 𝐏𝐀𝐑𝐓. Anyway, let's move on. We've got the season review to have a look at now. So that's going to be quite interesting, I think. Let's get straight into it. So we're getting to the new arrivals first off. The board's top pick was Rob Atkinson, the 27-year-old centre-back that we brought in from Bristol City on a free. So obviously the board are going to be delighted with that because he's got a minimum fee release clause of 180,000 now. We paid absolutely nothing for him. But anyway, so over the season he made 45 appearances, 4 goals, 2 assists, average rating of 7.36. Sam McClellan, we didn't really get much of a chance to use him. I think going forward, if I do stay with Fylde, he will be a player I'll probably be looking to sign on a permanent basis because his stats are off the scale and I think he would be a great addition. But anyway, he didn't play too many games. As you can see, he played 7, 1 goal, a 7.34. Abubakar Diallo, brought him from Crystal Palace on loan. 41 appearances, 12 goals, 17 assists. 17. Some of the numbers that we got this year, I mean, some of the things that I didn't actually show you, but we beat all kinds of records with Fylde, you know, goal scoring records, points records. The numbers were a bit off the scale this season. But anyway, Abubakar Diallo, 7.31 average rating. Brad Young, the goalkeeper, we actually paid nearly $250,000 for him, but I think it was money well spent. Made 58 appearances and he had an average rating of 7.18. So he did make 1 or 2 howlers towards the end of the season, but then, you know, I've always said this, and it's a well-known fact, isn't it? You know, when a keeper makes a mistake, it's generally a goal. If an outfield player makes a mistake, you know, 90% of the time you'll recover from it. So, Andre Dozzell, we brought in from Luton, again on a free, 47 appearances, 10 goals, 14 assists, 7.14. So I have spoken a lot about that midfield pairing of Dozzell and Mundle. Great centre midfield pairing, and Dozzell gets a real big mention in the new arrivals. Tom Clayton, 25-year-old centre-back, came in on a free from Swindon. We used him more as a utility player, so we used him at left centre-back and left wing-back, and he came in and did a really good job in those 2 positions for us. Actually scored 4 goals. More often when he came on as a sub, he got up there for the corners, nodded them in. So 25 appearances, 4 goals, 4 assists, 7.09. So moments to remember, just have a quick look at that. Not an awful lot to see in there, but so obviously we finished in first position. Here we go again, a little bit of a bone of contention. Average home attendance was 3,449,000, which is 57% of capacity. Need I say more? Top goal scorer was Len Jastrzemski, and I get an A+. The board are pleased that the team won Sky Bet League 2 this season. I'm sure they are. And you can see the league table there. So, like I say, in the end, we won it at 𝐏𝐀𝐑𝐓, 18 points over our nearest rival, Chesterfield. So we finished the season at 116 points. So looking at the finances, club reputation has not changed. We're a 2-star club. No new sponsorship deals this year. The annual revenue, 116,000 up from 100,000 last season. Broadcast revenue, 306,000 up from 287. Corporate and hospitality, 206 up from 171. Competition prize money, well, over doubled, 301,000 from 141 last season. And match day commercial and revenue, 302 up from 258,000. We sold 945 shirts this season, Mundell being top of the shop, and I'm not surprised by that at all. Closely followed by 𝐁𝐔𝐒, 𝐑𝐄, Williams and Young. And the key players in the squad, they are saying we rotated an awful lot in the season, which obviously you have to do for fitness, but one of the main reasons is the dynamics to keep players happy. And I think for most part, I did that this season. So, of course, we've got Young in goal, Scanlon, Simu, Atkinson, Hutchinson, Rossiter as that deep line playmaker. Of course, 𝐑𝐄 and Mundell in midfield, Koumas and Diallo out wide, and 𝐁𝐔𝐒 up front. And to be honest, every time I've announced a team for a game, it's usually been that lineup. I'm sure you used to be saying those names by now. So we're in our little awards ceremony. I mean, when I keep saying it's little, it's actually getting bigger and bigger each season. My awards for the season, I got Manager of the Month 3 times, December, February and April. So nice little pat on the back for me. Player awards, Fans Player of the Season, Romain Mundell. Young Player of the Season, Romain Mundell. Signing of the Season, Rob Atkinson. Goal of the season, Jordan Rossiter. Top goal scorer, 𝐁𝐔𝐒 with 38 goals. Boubacar Diallo, most assists, 17. Most Player of the Match awards, 𝐁𝐔𝐒 with 9. The highest average rating was Romain Mundell, 7.4. And most passes completed per 90 minutes, Daniel Simu with 86. And I don't think any of these, I mean, we won the league at a canter. Some of the results, towards the end of the season were off the scale. And I don't think any of these awards are a surprise, really. I mean, look at the record breakers. Brad Young, our goalkeeper, 28 clean sheets. You know, I said it in one of the match commentaries. You know, if you keep a clean sheet, you've got a point. And you just need your strikers and your creative players to go up the other end, nick a goal, you've got the 3. 28 clean sheets. And the highest transfer fee paid, I mean, you didn't actually get to see him because we bought him from Port Vale and he went straight back on loan at Port Vale. But Josh Achimapong, 370,000 we paid for him. 20-year-old fullback. So right fullback. Physicals are, for his age, off the scale. Mentals look amazing. We do need to work on his technicals, but definitely a player to watch for the future. Just a quick look at the supporter profile. Social media followers up very slightly. The supporter profile for the percentage crowd numbers. So the core support is up 31%. A family are down 20%. Not quite sure why that is. And the board expectations for next season. So play attacking football, play entertaining football. I'm not quite sure how play attacking football and play entertaining football fits in with play direct football. Because from a personal point of view, I don't associate attacking football and entertaining football with direct football. I find direct football quite boring, really. But they're very pleased with attacking. They're pleased with entertaining. They're disappointed with direct. I mean, come on. Football Manager, you know, I'm taking my 𝐏𝐕𝐈𝐄𝐿 hat off now. Football Manager, sort this out. It's not right. Okay, Football Manager hat back on again. Work within the wage budget on course. And for the end of next season, and there is some fair ambition here, it needs to be matched though. It needs to be matched with staff numbers and financially. They want to record a Sky Bet League One top half finish. Now, normally in this situation, I've been in this situation a lot. When you bring a team up from the lower leagues, you get into a league that you maybe not expected to do as well in, and the recommendation will be fight bravely against relegation. Not on this occasion. Sky Bet League One top half finish. So the board are looking ambitiously. But it does need to be matched, that. And then for the season after and ongoing, it's work towards gaining promotion to Sky Bet Championship. Looking at the 2028-29 season, they want to win promotion to the Championship and the season after remain in the Sky Bet Championship. I mean, we all know where the next step after the Championship is. It's the Premier League. Would this team with 3,000 odd supporters, with a ground that holds 6,000, fare well in the Premier League? I think we all know the answer to that one. Anyway, carrying on. So we're just going to have a little chat with the players now before they go off on the jollies. And I think that it's been a great season. You've all done brilliantly to get promoted. I'm going to give you all a chance for the next campaign. I think you can help us to a mid-table finish. And they're all satisfied. The only person that's offended, weirdly, is Andre Dozel. And with that, I'm now going to go off and do some serious thinking. Bit of head scratching. Looking at players to bring in. Maybe, possibly. Looking at new jobs. I don't know whether I need a new challenge now. I mean, you know, everything's in the melting pot at this moment in time. But as soon as I've made some decisions, and if anything, you know, like amazing happens or you know, earth-shattering happens, we will be back anyway, but we'll probably be back a little bit quicker than I would have intended. But yeah, I'm going off now. I'm going to go on a little bit of a holiday myself, get a couple of weeks away in the sun, have a good think about what's going on with my career. And when I come back, hopefully we'll have some positive news for you. We'll see you very shortly. Well, welcome back. I've had a nice couple of weeks away in the sun, done quite a lot of head scratching, done quite a lot of thinking. I came back and I decided that I was going to apply for a few jobs. So I did just that. I think I applied for 4 in the end. 3 of them knocked me back straight away. One of them was with Barry, who have just got relegated from Serie A, and I got an interview with them. The interview I thought went really well, and I was quite pleased. I was kind of thinking, right, okay, I'll maybe get this job, but in the end, I didn't get that job either. So as we stand at the moment, nobody seems to want my services. Not quite sure where things are going wrong. It's maybe my reputation. I don't know. I'm in Sky Bet League 1 now. I've taken file from the National North to the Vanarama National to Sky Bet League 2, now Sky Bet League 1. I'll show you in a minute. We are projected to finish 5th in Sky Bet League 1. I think we're 9-1. So the media are looking at me and my team as being good enough to get into the playoffs in Sky Bet League 1. And if we win that, we're through to the Championship. I can't get a Championship job to save my life. I've tried applying for, I think 3 of the jobs that I applied for were in Europe. Didn't get any of those. So I'm not quite sure what's going on, but you know, it is what it is, and we battle on. And with all of that distraction, obviously I've still got a contract here at AFC Fylde, so I got my thinking cap on, went out, signed some players. 1 or 2 players had to be sold. Rob Atkinson weirdly was kind of sold from under me. We got 180,000 I think for him. I'd rather would have kept him, but I just got a message to say that, you know, an offer had come in, too good to refuse, we're accepting it. So I had the rug pulled from under my feet a little bit with that one. But yes, we have moved a few players out. Quite a few players' contracts have lapsed, so we've let them leave. But we have made quite a few signings to bolster the team for this upcoming season. So let's have a look at some of those, shall we? So just to say before we have a look at the transfers in and out, we had quite a few loan players in last season and they did really well for us. Unfortunately, because of the crazy way that Football Manager works, so when you go in, you'll all know this, you go in, you sign a loan player and they will stipulate we want him to play defensive fullback. Well, I don't play with defensive fullbacks, I play with wing backs. So consequently, you play the player in the position that suits your team, but then the parent club gets really angry and annoyed by that. It's absolute madness, I think, because if a player can play in a position and he can play wing back and you know his star rating says that he can do that, why can't, just because there's a stipulation in there that Football Manager have chucked in and said, oh, no, he can't play, he shouldn't play wing back, he should play full back. So the knock-on effect from that is that the parent club then gets very disgruntled with you because you've not played the player in the right position. So consequently, you go back in and try and sign that player back on loan. Oh, no, they've got the grump on with you. If you find another loan player from the same club, I mean, I think this happened with Middlesbrough. I think Middlesbrough was a good example. So Middlesbrough, I had a player or two from there, didn't play them in the positions they wanted them to be played in. When I went back and said, right, I found another player from Middlesbrough that I want to bring in. No, they've got a grumpy on. You can't have them. So I have actually, I've made a bit of an enemy of one or two clubs doing that. The only player I could bring back, who I have a good relationship with, Crystal Palace, because, you know, I played Boubacar Diallo in the position that they wanted me to play him in. Anyway, so Boubacar Diallo did actually come back on loan, so we've got him again for the upcoming season. But he's the only player that I could bring back. Koumas, no, would have been great to have Koumas back. I've struggled a little bit on that left wing, trying to bring a player in. But I think I have managed to do something now and succeeded. Anyway, rant over. Gobby Gaffer hat back on. We're looking at transfers. So as you can see there, transfers out. Bottom of the list is Rob Atkinson. He went to Rotherham for 180,000. Like I say, it was done without my blessing. I would have preferred to keep Rob Atkinson, but there you go. So looking at the transfers that I've actually managed to, bring into the club. So we went to Burton and we paid 375,000 for Fagan Walcott. Now this deal, like the Achapong last season, both of these deals was done by my director of football. I had the final say on them, but I didn't actually find them. And I'm a little bit unsure at the moment about paying what for us is quite big money. I'm a little bit unsure about that. But director of football, he went in there, did all the negotiations. And I mean, in the end, I can't disagree with him. Fagan Walcott, he's going to be a central defender there, right-footed, 24-year-old. Physicals, his jumping reach of 16, acceleration of 17. Pace of 17. So he's going to be on defensive duties where a little bit of speed is needed. I think we've got a really good player there. He's coming as a 3-star. Not a huge amount of potential ability, but we'll have to see about that. See if he fits into our style of play. Boubacar Diallo, as I've just mentioned, we've got him back for another season on loan. Crystal Palace, I have a really good relationship with them, so that worked out quite nicely. And they let us have him back for another season, which is great news. We needed a backup goalkeeper. Again, director of football went out there. This came a little bit blindsided me. 20-year-old True Grant. He looks okay. He's a 1.5 star, potential to be 3.5 star. He's only ever going to be backup, but I think, as a backup player, I think he'll be okay. Now this lad I'm quite excited about. Found this one myself. Well, when I say I found him myself, my chief scout kind of came to me and did a recommendation, but I did all the legwork on this one. So Dario Sarmiento, an Argentinian, 23-year-old. We signed him on a free. He's now worth between 2.3 and 4.5 million. Comes in as a 3-star, potential to be 4.5. And I think we might have found the player that will come in and do the Koumas role. I mean, hopefully we will. He can also play striker. He can play as an advanced attacking mid. So again, left-footed. So he's going to be a winger and not an inverted winger, an inside forward. Just gives us a little bit of an extra dimension. And he can also play as an inverted winger on the right-hand side. So quite a useful player to have. Needed a little bit more cover in midfield. Fortunately, last season, Dizel and Mundle didn't get injured an awful lot. And I think as a consequence of that, our midfield, it was actually a triangle with Rossiter behind them. And that midfield, more or less, was the starting midfield for the whole of the season. And I think because of the continuous playing, they actually got really used to one another. And that midfield was our engine. That's what drove us forward. And, that was a massive part of our success. But I did kind of feel as the season was going on that with tiredness, 𝐷𝐄𝐈 got injured towards the end of the season. We needed a little bit more cover in there. So with that in mind, we've signed a 20-year-old Archie Whitehall, and he's coming on a free, coming as a 2-star with the potential to be 4. So a little bit more cover in that midfield area. One club that I haven't got on the wrong side of is Burnley, and they've given us on loan 19-year-old Joe King. So he is down as a ball-playing defender now. Whether bearing in mind what I said previously, whether this will work in our favour or not, I'm not quite sure. But he's 5'10" and can't head a ball. So at the end of the day, don't think he's going to be a central defender. He will more likely play centre midfield for me. He's a perfect player to deputise for Mundle because he can play Mezzala. But to be quite honest, he's quite versatile, and he can also take over from 𝐷𝐄𝐈 as well. So he's got a natural fitness of 17. I mean, his physicals look really good. Mentals look amazing. Determination of 20. I love determination in a player. You know that as soon as you put them on the pitch, you're going to get that 100% off them. 19 for bravery. So again, some really good cover in that area of the pitch. And potentially his value, I know we've only got him on loan, but if you're looking at value of a player at 19, he's valued at up to 7.4 million. So I think, again, another good signing. So again, another free transfer. I mean, if you remember the budgets, we only had 90,000 in the transfer budget. So at this level now, players are starting to be, I'm getting offered players by my chief scout for up to 8 and 10 million. I don't know where his head is. It's obviously in the clouds because we can't afford players like that. So free transfers it is, free transfers and loans. Noah Chilvers comes in. 25-year-old central midfielder is where he's going to play. He's got very, very good overall average stats, right across the board. Technicals, mentals, physicals. Again, he can play Mezzala. Again, he can play an advanced playmaker in attacking. So he can take over from Mundle or 𝐷𝐄𝐈. So we're getting some strength in depth in that area now. Back into the loan market, and this time from Stoke, we've got Harry Newton, 19-year-old, left-footed central defender, which is something, apart from Clayton, it's something we've not really had a left-footed central defender. He's 6'4", heading of 14, jumping reach of 15. His mentals look amazing. His physicals look, really good. Maybe a little bit of work on the technical side, but he is only 19. Comes as a 3-star with the potential to be 5. So potentially he's going to be a very, very good player. But we've got him on loan for the season. And with my really good relationship with Crystal Palace, it's worked out quite nicely for another loan player. 22-year-old Jack Wells-Morrison, another central midfield player. We've got some real good strength in depth now in midfield, and for that defensive midfielder slot as well. Comes in as a 3-star, potential to be 4. Again, really good overall stats, and I think he will do really well for us in midfield as either a starter or as a super sub. Just looking at the media Dream 11 now. We only have one player in, unfortunately, and that's Diallo out on that right wing. Brad Young is in, the goalkeeper is in key players. Did say that the last time I looked, the media prediction was for us to finish 5th. We're now 13-2 to finish 4th. So the media think I've done a half-decent job recruiting players. So obviously the media are seeing things about me that other clubs, when it comes to new managers, are not. Answers on a postcard. I'm slightly baffled, if I'm honest. Quick look at the finances. We have got a balance of 2.3 million or thereabouts in the bank. The only reason for that is because every end of season the chairman puts money in. So I think this time he put about 2.3 million in, I think, something like that. So he's having to prop the club up all of the time, which is not ideal. Maybe it's the reason why, he won't back me in certain areas, because he's having to prop the club up. But then, we need the finances to get better for this club, and one of the big ways of doing that is to get more people through the. I mean, if we doubled our crowd every game, which we could do, if we doubled it every game and sold out, it would make a huge difference. Anyway, I keep banging on about that. I need to stop talking about it because, quite frankly, I don't think it's going to happen. So I think you're all nicely caught up now. One final thing I will add, which is kind of fairly relevant, is that my backroom staff are pretty well unchanged. He has given me, I think he's given me an extra coach now and an extra scout. So I think we're up to 11 coaches and 7 scouts, if memory serves me. The slight problem with that is that at this level now, coaches and scouts want a lot more money than we are prepared to offer. So I've asked him for better wages for coaches, better wages for scouts. He has given me them, I'll be fair to him, but it's kind of gone up by about £50 a week, when in actual fact, the staff that I need are probably £500 a week more. So, for instance, you know, a lot of the scouts I'm going for want, you know, £1,300 a week wages, and we only want to pay 750. Same with the coaches. So I'm a little bit, my hands are a little bit tied in that department. We still ranked quite high for coaching and scouting and medical in Sky Bet League One. We still rank quite high, but we'll have to see as the season goes on whether that comes back to bite us, whether it's all good enough or not. I don't know. We seem to be, I don't know whether we seem to be batting above our level a little bit now. A lot of the players that I went for, like I said before, the chief scout is offering me players now that are worth 10 million. Well, with a transfer budget of 90,000, I'm not quite sure why he's doing that. A lot of the players' wages now are going into I had to turn a lot of players down because they wanted between £5,000, £8,000, £9,000 a week. Really good players, would have taken us to the next level, had to turn them down, had to walk away from the deal because we just couldn't afford it. I mean, my wage budget, I think, at the moment is about 74,000, and we're more or less at that limit now. So, again, you know, we'll have to see how the season goes. I am quite hopeful. I mean, I'm probably sounding a little bit pessimistic. I don't mean to do, but what I'm trying to do is just give you a little bit of information about the background of the staffing levels, where we're at, the player levels, where we're at. This is all financially I'm talking about. And hopefully the media prediction, I mean, if we finish 4th, again, I will be chuffed to little mint balls. You know, make no mistake about it. I will be chuffed to little mint balls. Whether we can achieve that, I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyway, as we speak, there's a game coming up very, very quickly now. So I think we're going to jump into the dugout and we're going to play a game, shall we? Come on, let's go and do that. Well, welcome to Mill Farm for our first game in Sky Bet League One, and it's a home game against Barnsley. So the team for today is Young in goal, back four, quite a new back four for you today. We've got Clayton, and then we've got Newton, Fagan, Walcott and Wilson, all brand new players. So it's a fairly new back four, and they're going to have to kind of hit the ground running and hopefully get in tune with each other. Russell Denny is one of the, I've actually promoted quite a few of the young players who were out on loan last season who did really well. So I've promoted quite a few. Russell Denny is one of those, and he comes in as the deep line playmaker today. You probably noticed from the squad list there, Ross did actually, his contract ended, and I decided to let him go in the end. So Russell Denny plays as the deep line playmaker. No surprise in the centre and midfield. We've got Dizelle and Mundell. Let's see how they can do with the step up. We've got the new lad Sarmiento on the left wing. Diallo is on the right wing, playing as the inverted winger, and Jastrzemski is the lone striker today. And we're underway. So I've had a word with the lads, and I've said to them, you know, the board want mid-table this season, so I've said, you know, mid-table lads. And they actually came back, to be fair to them, and said, we don't think we're being ambitious enough. we'd like to be a bit more ambitious than that. So I said, well, okay then, you know, playoffs. And they were all quite happy with that. So this bunch of lads at this moment in time, potentially, they're looking for a playoffs. In their head, it's, yeah, we're going to get the playoffs this season. Whether we can do that, I don't know. Time will tell. But anyway, so Barnsley, I think they're predicted to finish 14th, I think it was. Was it 14th? They've actually gone into the lead. So Aidan Marsh has put them 1-0 in front, which is not the best of starts. So that was a header out from Mundle. Diallo got robbed of the ball. Styles to Marsh. Our centre two there. Not switched on, not awake at all. This is kind of what I was saying, you know, we do need to hit the ground running. And these players came in fairly late, so we've not really played them together that much. They've not had a lot of game time. Russell Denny with the free kick. And Fagan Walcott has scored his first goal for us. I'm looking a little bit shocked there, I know, but I didn't really expect us to score from that. That was a nice ball in, actually. Worked on the training ground, that one. We've not really done that much work with them, to be fair. So I think they must have worked that out for themselves. But it's 1-1. And 35 minutes on the clock. Bobbing on to half-time now. At 1-1. We are looking a little bit tired. Into the second half. 1-1 against Barnsley. Ball gets slung in, and that's headed over the top. Could do with Jastrzemski nicking a goal today, just to, you know, oil the wheels a little bit. We've had 15 shots, 6 on target. We are playing a lot better than Barnsley, to be fair. But Barnsley have the ball. Ball over the top. That's swung out wide. Their right winger said, I'm not bothered running for that one. Too much like hard work. So Clayton comes away with it. Hoofs the ball forward. Jastrzemski, no. Comes out to Dario. It's one of these fancy Argentinian. Call me by my first name. So it's Dario, not Sarmiento. Ball in, Gazelle, lovely goal. So that's our new right wing back, slinging the ball into the box, and Gazelle gets his first goal of the season. So we've come back from 1-0 down, and we're now winning 2-1. I mean, this was a lovely cross, straight onto his head, not marked, into the bottom corner. Beautiful. And look at all those green dots on our squad. That's very, very nice to see. Gazelle again. Gazelle shots! Oh my word! What's Gazelle's on fire today? So the ball gets headed out by one of their defenders, and Gazelle just gets hold of it, left-footed, and it went in like a rocket. 3-1. Chance to have a look at 3 of the new players. So I'm bringing the young lad Achpong on at right wing back. King has come into the centre of defence. Really, I want to play him in midfield, but he is very versatile and can play as a central defender. So he comes in there, and we're getting a look at Chilvers as well, coming on from Mundle. Little bit of tiredness in there, a little bit of rotation. And let's just have a look at these new players. 20 minutes left on the clock. 3-1 in the lead. And Achpong is with the throw-in. Clayton. To Dario. Dario with the ball. And that doesn't get into the penalty area. But that one does. And that's just over the top. So we're moving into a very, very comfortable, at the moment, comfortable 3-1 win, unless Barnsley have have something in them at the end of the game here. There's about 10 minutes left. 𝐁𝐔𝐒𝐒, can he put that in? Of course he can. 𝐁𝐔𝐒𝐒 gets, and it's saying it's his second goal. I don't think it's his second. Unless they're counting friendlies, I'm not quite sure. But I don't think 𝐁𝐔𝐒𝐒 scored in this game, has he yet? 𝐁𝐔𝐒𝐒 onto it like a flash, in at the back of the net. And 𝐁𝐔𝐒𝐒 is off and running. Very nice. I kind of wanted him to score in this game. No, so 𝐓𝐀𝐍 scored 2, 𝐁𝐔𝐒𝐒 1, 𝐒𝐀𝐑𝐉 1. Not sure where they're getting the 2 from. Maybe it was in the friendlies, although friendlies don't usually count. But that is a very, very, very nice start. And I'm going to say that was as good a win as you're likely to see. So Barnsley, you know, an established kind of higher level team, a lot more established than we are, and we get the 3 points off them. Not only that, we score 4 goals. Apart from that little howler at the beginning, and like I said, that back four has got to get used to one another. The 2 centre-backs are brand new in the team, so there's going to be a little bit of getting to know each other, a little bit of indecision to begin with, which we did see. But once we settled down and got our foot on the ball, and then we were off and running. 4-1, lovely. And just as that win is settling in, another message from the director of football, and he's actually recommended us to sign a 24-year-old centre-back on loan, Alex Mitchell from Luton. And he looks okay, doesn't he? 6'3", heading of 12, jumping reach of 15. Physicals look really good. He's got a pace of 12, acceleration not quite so much. Mentals look really good, so I'm going to accept that one. At the moment, I think centre-back again last season, we were a little bit light on numbers. I brought that new lad in on loan, Sam McClelland, who actually got into our awards ceremony. Didn't play him an awful lot. I did try to go in and sign him, and he would have been a brilliant addition. He was on a free transfer as well. But when I went in, because I'd not played him enough, he had a grumpy on with me, and I tried a few times, and in the end he went elsewhere, and we didn't manage to get him. So anyway, Alex Mitchell, I think he'll be a good backup player for us at centre back, and that rotation, all important rotation, is looking really good at the moment. And with that, we're off and running with a lovely win, 3 points on the board. Let's see what we can do this season, Sky Bet League One. I think I'm fairly committed to Fylde now for the rest of the season. Nobody seems to want me. I'm a little bit nonplussed by that, but you know what? Everybody else's loss is AFC Fylde's gain. Well, let's hope so, eh? Let's not count our chickens. We'll see you next time.